Mahomes will ever play in for the rest of his career, it's the only way to catch Tom Brady. He has to win this game. If he loses this game, he cannot catch Tom Brady, in my opinion.
Oh, Tony Romo, who will be calling the game 1 week from Sunday on CBS, saying the stakes are incredibly high. Max Kellerman for Patrick Mahomes, more so than any normal quarterback, because if he ever wants to be the GOAT, the MJ of football, he can't do it unless he wins this game. Do you agree with him?
No, I don't. And in fact, this is the exact topic that we actually debated on this show earlier in the week. I mean, look, leading up to the Super Bowl, people are going to have a lot of the same kind of takes leading up.
I want to hear it again.
We literally debated this topic, and I will tell you why not. It will be very difficult, yes. Because if Brady beats him, no matter what Mahomes does, people are going to say it's unlikely he gets to 10 Super Bowls and wins 7. Mm-hmm. And people are going to say when Brady was 112 years old, he beat Mahomes in his prime, and he's got more Super Bowl wins. Tough, right? But not impossible. For example, let me give you an unlikely scenario, but not a crazy one. What if they met again in the Super Bowl next year and Mahomes won? Like, what about that? What if there was a rematch? Brady still looked really good this year. He wants to play till he's 45. The Bucs are loaded, and we expect the Chiefs to get out of the AFC every year.
My mind can't go there yet.
Well, but I'm just saying, like, there's a scenario where, here's another thing. Let's talk about the pace that they're on. Patrick Mahomes has been in the league for 3 seasons as a starter. 3. He's 25 years old. He has been to 3 AFC championship games. This will be 2 Super Bowls, and he's won a Super Bowl, even if he loses to Brady.
Yeah.
He's also won an MVP and a Super Bowl MVP. He's 25. He's also putting up numbers that we've never seen before to start a career. Yeah. Kind of in any sport. He's putting up Wilt Chamberlain numbers. Like, oh my God, he's doing, what's his completion percentage? What's his QBR? How many touchdowns? How many interceptions? How many wins? Do you realize in Patrick Mahomes' last 26 starts, they're 25-1 against the NFL? It's insane. They don't even have a, do the Chiefs have a great defense? No. So given the pace Mahomes is on, even if he wins half the number of, so if he wins, let's say 4 Super Bowls by the end of his career and loses to Brady, but beats him in a rematch, let's say, and we look at his career and say, yes, Brady is the GOAT in terms of career value, the way Kareem or maybe LeBron is by this point, right? But who do we actually call the GOAT in the NBA? Most people, Jordan, because his peak was long enough that, like, his career was long enough at his peak that he qualifies, and the peak was just the highest. So we may one day look, even if he loses this Super Bowl, and say, man, he got to and won enough Super Bowls, especially if he ever gets Brady in a rematch where he'd lose this one. He got him back, and we all saw it with our own eyes. No one was ever as good as Mahomes. That would be, I admit, it's a big mountain to climb, but he could do it.
No, he can't. If he loses the Super Bowl to Tom Brady, he will never, ever. Tom Brady is 43 years of age. And I'm going to use this analogy to you, and it's a bad one, I'll admit it, but I think I'm using a boxing analogy just to get Max to where I'm going. Do you remember when Costa Zoo fought Zab Judah?
Sure do.
You remember when Zab was talking, and he fought Costa Zoo, and Costa Zoo caught him. You know, Zab was trying to dip, got caught with the right hand, went down, Molly, and got up like this. And his legs were shaking and went and fell back down. I still think the referee shouldn't have stopped the fight. He should have let it go.
Agreed.
You understand? But nevertheless,
Stephen A., that fight was over.
I understand that. I understand that, but he still let it.
I agree with you.
Because he should let him go because he still had.
He got up. He wanted to fight.
He got up. He wanted to fight. So let him fight. Here's the point. Why do I bring that up in an analogy like this? Because everybody said rematch. Costa Zoo said no. You said winner take all. Winner gets everything. Because he thought he was going to win.
Yeah.
He said, now. In other words, to punish him, he said, I ain't giving you another shot.
Yeah, do that in the NFL.
Live with this, right? What if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl?
Could retire.
And says, I'm done.
That's going to be tough.
I'm done. You know what? I beat Patrick Mahomes.
On a high note.
I beat the modern day GOAT, you're right, according to y'all, at age 43 in my first year with a new team. It's a wrap. I thought I would come back. Giselle, baby, all the kids, we did what we came to do. You understand? It's a wrap. Can't end any better. Not only do I go out a champion, I knocked off Patrick Mahomes
in his
and
prime.
the offensive juggernaut that is the Kansas City Chiefs. Not just Patrick Mahomes' prime, Travis Kelce's prime, Tyreek Hill's prime. I took him out.
And he'd have 7 rings.
And I said, yeah, we
Even if
know that.
Brady
And MJ has 6 rings.
That's a given.
Even if Brady didn't play well,
But what I'm
people
saying,
wouldn't remember.
but what I'm saying is, if he sat up there and won the game, and then said, "I'm done."
Yeah.
Now see where he could tarnish it. If Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, even if he beats Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes still looks like Patrick Mahomes, and Tom Brady comes back next year looking like Peyton Manning did in his last year, that could ruin it. But if Tom Brady won, played well doing so, and then said, "I'm done. There's no more for me to do," I don't think Patrick Mahomes could overcome that, because no matter what, even if you won 7, which I don't believe will happen, even if you won 7, you still lost to him not once but twice in the postseason. Your only postseason losses of your career. One was in the AFC Championship game. Another was in the Super Bowl because he went to the conference. It was when he was 43 years of age. It's his 7th ring, and he beat you, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce in his prime. Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal. You can't eclipse that.
Well,
I'll
say this.
Can't do it.
If Tony Romo had said, which is what you're saying it is possible that if Brady beats Mahomes, he can fix it so that Mahomes will never have a chance. I agree with your argument. It would be so unlikely. What could Mahomes do? Win 10 Super Bowls in a row, right? Like, he'd have to do something like that to really get back in it. So I would agree. There is something Brady could do after the game, which would ice it forever, which is to retire. That is true. I can't argue against that.
Yeah.
But Brady said he wants to play till he's 45 years old.
We'll see.
And given the way he's playing now on the team he's on, with the weapons and the defense he has,
I would remind y'all that I don't mean to put business out there in terms of the industry, but if Peyton Manning wanted to be in the booth, I know that you want to go in the bottom for the top. You gotta go get it. Never give up. When do you want it? Never go get it.
I'm sorry. We wasted one of your years.
You take the bad and you turn it into positive, and I just want to continue to take my game to another level.
Never lose when you really make it move.
Hey, James Harden isn't the only superstar that wants out of H-Town Houston. We got a problem. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, I'm Molly Karam-Rose. Happy Friday, y'all.
Happy Friday. How y'all doing?
You look nice, Stephen A.
Thank you.
I
Not
like-
as nice as
I
you in
like
that
this
yellow.
getup.
You know I love
Max
the yellow.
always.
You know I love the yellow.
Thank you.
It's nice.
Appreciate it. All right, let's get it, guys. So we know James Harden wants out, but according to the Houston Chronicle, the Texans think they can mend this relationship. They think there's hope that it can all work out, and obviously no surprise. There has been a ton of trade interest in Deshaun Watson. Stephen A.,
Yeah.
where's the best destination for him?
Deshaun Watson would be the Miami Dolphins. I love the idea of Chris Greer, an African-American GM, Brian Flores, an African-American coach, with Deshaun Watson. Obviously, their defense is good. Their offense needs some additional weapons. We understand that. But I'm taking into consideration where he's coming from with the Houston Texans. I don't care what anybody says. Something went wrong there. Something went dreadfully wrong there. And when I look at the Houston Texans right now, and I see what's transpiring with them as an organization and how Deshaun Watson is desperately trying to get out of there, so much so that he's willing to go public and say the things that they again, when I say public, obviously through his representation, he has said he wants out. And so when I look at it from that perspective, it's more than just about football with him, clearly. And considering those things and what the Miami Dolphins are representing right now, clearly the Washington Redskins would be an additional organization, but I don't think they have the assets necessary in order to attract Houston to make a deal, even though Deshaun Watson has a no-trade clause. But when you got an African-American president, an African-American GM, and a minority as the head coach in Ron Rivera, when you consider that, along with the fact that they're clearly is more than just football that's going on in the mind of Deshaun Watson. I would say the Miami Dolphins are the ideal situation, particularly since Tom Brady is no longer in New England with Bill Belichick, and it's just you battling the Buffalo Bills. I definitely think that would be an ideal situation for him.
Well, if I were the Jets, I'd want him. And if I were the Jets,
more than Trevor Lawrence.
well, they're not going to get Trevor Lawrence. But if I were the Jets, I'd want him. And if I were the Jets, I would think I need a quarterback who's going to be great no matter how dysfunctional we are. That's Deshaun Watson. And the Jets have a lot to offer. If I were Deshaun Watson, I'd love to go to Miami, and Miami also has a lot to offer. But if I were the Texans, I'm not trading him in the AFC. No. I'm not having this dude coming back and beating my brains out. No, I'm trading him to the NFC. So when I look around at the NFC, you've heard me make the case in the past for the Chicago Bears. They haven't had a great quarterback ever in the Super Bowl era. They've won one Super Bowl in 35 years. I had a guy call my radio show, Max Kellerman Show, 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Well, no, as you would say, what time is that?
2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio.